I got my cochlear implant at 30 years old, and since then I've spoken to hundreds of users. And one question keeps coming up from older adults: am I too old for a cochlear implant? Here's what I tell them. Severe hearing loss increases your dementia risk by 5 times. Not getting a cochlear implant is riskier than getting one. Here are 5 things I've learned that nobody tells older adults about cochlear implants. And truth number 4 reveals the shocking reason why older adults succeed. It has nothing to do with age. Truth 1, I've interviewed CI users in their 90s. Age isn't the barrier you think it is. When most people think cochlear implant, they picture babies, viral YouTube videos, toddlers hearing for the first time. Here's what you don't see: the 96-year-old getting a cochlear implant. Surgeon J. Rubenstein operated on a 96-year-old. When older patients tell him they are too old, he says, age is not important unless you are a cheese. Surgeons routinely perform cochlear implant surgery on patients in their 80s and 90s. One CI user told me her only regret was wasting years believing she was too old. She got hers at 72. She's now 74 and thriving. And here's why age matters less than you think. Truth 2, every older CI user I've interviewed says the same thing. It's not just about hearing, it's about protecting your brain. Dementia will affect 139 million people by 2050. There's no cure. But hearing loss, you can fix that. Fix it and you prevent 8% of dementia cases worldwide. Here's what happens when you can't hear. Your brain works overtime trying to decode sounds. Unused hearing pathways literally weaken and shrink. Use it or lose it. Researchers studied thousands of people and found cochlear implants and hearing aids cut memory decline by 19%. Not just hearing, your memory, your thinking, your independence, all protected. A 72-year-old CI user told me something that did upset me. She said, for 3 years I watched my 6-year-old grandson's mouth move as he told me about scoring his first goal at football. I smiled, I nodded, but I had no idea what he said. I'd go home and cry because I was becoming a stranger in my own family. Within months of her cochlear implant, she rejoined her book club. Her daughter told me, Mum's back. So if you are sitting at family dinners, just nodding and smiling, pretending you understand, your brain is paying the price every single day. But here's what I learned about the surgery that eliminated one woman's biggest fear. Truth 3, you don't need to be put fully asleep, and this option gave every older CI user I spoke to peace of mind. The number one concern I hear from older adults: being put fully asleep for surgery. There's an alternative: staying awake. Surgeons at one of America's top hospitals have performed hundreds of cochlear implant surgeries with patients awake since 2006. Success rate, same as being put fully asleep. Complication rate, lower. The CI users who stayed awake, no pain, 90 minutes, walked out the same day. And here's what surprised me: 99% of patients over 65 at that hospital choose to stay awake when they are given the option. So if being put fully asleep is a concern for you, ask your surgeon one question: can I stay awake for surgery? That question might change everything. But the real story, it's about what older CI users do after surgery. Truth 4, older CI users outperform younger ones, and I see it constantly in my community. But I've met older CI users who put my commitment to shame. They show up every appointment, they wear their processors every waking hour, they push through the difficult months without quitting. Desperation beats talent. Younger CI users sometimes expect instant results. When it's hard, they give up. Older adults, they've lived with hearing loss long enough to know exactly what they are missing. Family dinners, phone calls, grandchildren's voices. One 77-year-old told me, I didn't have cochlear implant surgery to fail. 6 months later, back at church. 1 year on the phone with her sister in Australia for the first time in 5 years. Worst start equals bigger gains. So if you think I've waited too long, my hearing is too far gone, you are actually describing the person who benefits most from a cochlear implant. But there's one challenge older CI users face that younger users don't. Truth 5, every older CI user I've spoken to struggled with the tech at first, but that's exactly why they succeeded. The most common concern I hear: I'm not good with technology. Buttons, Bluetooth, apps at 72 processors feel like tiny computers, because they are. But here's what I've learned from watching older CI users. Most handle their devices independently after repeated training. Asking for help isn't weakness, it's strength. The older CI users who succeed, they schedule regular check-ins with their audiologist, they ask family members for help with apps, they join support groups. One man told me after 12 months he handles everything himself, changes batteries, connects to the TV, adjusts volume. Here's what I struggle with: 95% older adults who qualify never get cochlear implants, not because they can't benefit, but they don't know they qualify. Medicare now covers cochlear implants for anyone scoring 60% or worse on speech tests with hearing aids. That's millions of people. So if you struggle to hear in restaurants, if you avoid phone calls, if you turn up the TV and your family complains, you probably qualify. After speaking to hundreds of older CI users, the biggest barrier isn't age, it's fear. Every single one says the same thing: I wish I'd done it sooner. Drop a comment which truth shocked you the most. And if someone thinks they are too old for a cochlear implant, please send them this video. If this helped you or someone you love, there's a Buy Me a Coffee link in the description. I'm Aidan, subscribe for CI Honest Truths, and see you in the next video.